Now that we've talked about the type of gear that you need, i.e. rod and reel, let's talk about the lures. Now this is my favorite part. Let me show you one of the most deadliest combos you can ever use for a predatory fish, which include largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, walleye, pike, anything like that in freshwater, and in saltwater, Barracuda, bonito, corvina, all the sea basses, anything like that, tuna, is this right here. This little soft plastic fluke right here. Now they come in a variety of sizes, but this is my favorite size to use. It's a 3.5 inch one. Now as you can see, it's not that special, it's not colorful or anything, but it's supposed to mimic a dying or injured bait fish in the water. I personally recommend for the bays a 3.5 to 4 inch one. It'll mimic the bait fish around, which include mainly smelt, jack smelt, top smelt, occasionally anchovies. They're all about this size and about this color, really. So yeah, that's one of the favorite baits to use and one of the top baits to use. Another type of bait is grubs. Freshwater grubs. Check it out. Ta-da! This was on the perch rod, by the way. It's a 2 inch or 2.5 inch grub. It's perfect for the perch, the smaller bass. Even some of the bigger bass will take this down. They'll think it's a little shrimp or crayfish or worm or something. These things work pretty good in the salt water, believe it or not. So these are always good to use. Another really good bait is this. It's a little saltwater curly tail half grub. I don't know what you call it. It's like a flat top grub. Anyways, it's supposed to mimic a ghost shrimp with this color. That's one of the local forage here. A West Coast classic is the swim bait. I could take it or leave it, honestly. I've caught some fish with it, yes, I'm not gonna lie, but I've had more success with the flukes. Now this is a bigger size one. There we go. This one is by Big Hammer. Really good brand. I like them. Like, I mean, there's tons of swim baits, but I'm not gonna lie. Big Hammer has it down pat. Like, they're really good with their swim baits. This one right here is a 5 inch one. Would be perfect for calico bass out in the kelp. It's this color is like it's called, I believe, anchovy. Look at that. And I have this jig head right here. It's just a weighted jig head with an eyeball to make it look like a fish. And the hook sticks out. Now, they'll work, but I personally don't like these using them in the bays as much. It's because you will get caught up on rocks. You will get caught up on weeds. You will get caught up on eelgrass and anything like that. Because the hook's exposed. You'll get caught all over the place. So, now as far as colors, blues, yellows, greens, sparklies. Now these are different brands here. I guess Big Hammer has it down pat, but I will try other baits too. Because like I said, it's not my main thing. I have them just in case. You're fishermen, you gotta have all these things. These sizes I prefer the 3 inch or the 3.5 inch ones in the bays because they're the perfect size to mimic the bait fish around. Now swim baits just literally flick their tails out like that when you're reeling it in, and it'll mimic like a fleeing bait fish. And fish will strike it. They work great. It's just the way you hook them. I usually tend to hook them Texas rigged. It's a little harder, but if you get it done, it works really good. You can toss it in the eel grass and everything. All right, now we're moving away from the West Coast classics on to. You thought I was going to say irons. Yes, irons. Between 1 to 2 inches is perfect for the bays. And spoons, like the crocodiles. Really good. Why it's messed up? Those are fish teeth marks, my friend. So yeah, little metals like this, meant to mimic bait fish and stuff, so you can toss those out there. Now, what I prefer over metals, if you're going for the pelagics, are topwater minnows. Like these. Now I have a couple of brands that I really like has this is a Rapala Xwrap. It's a saltwater Xwrap. I replaced this hook with a single hook instead of a treble hook, just make it a little easier on myself and the fish. This is, I believe, a 5-inch one or 4.5-inch one, something like that. It is deadly when you troll it in Mission Bay. You will catch spotted bay bass, you will catch halibut, you will catch barracuda, you will catch mackerel, you will catch anything that eats fish. Especially considering that Mission Bay is 20 feet deep at its deepest, and this thing can dive down to about 7 feet, 6 feet or something like that. That's deep enough for a fish to nyam. So yeah, Rapala Xwrap, perfect. Another good one I like, which is unfortunately discontinued and has been discontinued for years, is the Yosuri Toby Maru Jr. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. These things. Oh, I have 2 left. I can't buy them anywhere. I looked on eBay. I don't really use them anymore unless I have to. These things will outfish almost anything for a fit like this size. They just have this shine to them. They just have this look to them. And then this lip right there is unbeatable when it comes to the swimming action. So they can dive to about 5 feet or so. Now the successor of those are the crystal minnows. I don't like how they look, and the lip right there, I personally think they messed up. They should have stuck with the bigger lip right there. It just gives it a better wiggle. This one gives it a tighter wiggle, but it just doesn't create the same action. It works, but not as well. If I tossed out this one and if I tossed out the other one would outfish this one. I tried when the bonito and the barracuda were biting. Another Yosuri. I forgot the name of this one, but it's a fat one. I think it's an inshore minnow. That's what it's called. Really good. Caught me a barracuda first cast, so, and that's honestly the only time I've used it, but pretty good. So yeah, 2 favorite brands, Yosuri and Rapala. Mainly Rapala Xwrap and Yosuri crystal minnows and Toby Marus if you can find them. I don't know if you can see them, and I'm not taking them out because they're stinky. The Berkeley Gulp baits. This is the last resort bait. Now what I mean, oh God, I'm gonna have to take it up to show you. As you can see, they're in a juice. And it's a mixture of like shrimp and minnows and worms and everything. Anyways. So, that's a last resort bait. I personally think that's cheating if you use it because it works. If you can't catch a fish with that, then you can't catch fish that day. You saw a pattern here. All these baits are supposed to make bait fish. Whether it's bait fish or a crustacean of some sort or a worm or something like that. Match the hatch, really. Just pay attention to what's out there, what's swimming. If you see little bait fish that are like silver or whatever, try to find something that's around that color, that size, toss it out there. We talked about the species. We talked about gear for lure fishing. And then we also talked about the lures. And to a tiny degree, what type of techniques. Thanks again, my friends. It is really hot. I turned off the fan just so I can get the volume good. Till next time, we're going to talk about, let me see here on my little cheat sheet list. Oh, perfect. Natural baits and terminal tackle, how to use, and thanks again, my friends. And again, till next time, I'll see you later.